In my life right now,
Yeah.
I prioritize rest. Even when I don't need it, I take it. Even when I feel A-okay, I rest.
I think I need to take a little
I think I need a little, I need a camp. Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new episode of Genesis Wholeness. My name is Ginger in real life, your co-host. But of course, I am not alone, I'm with and we are we are the It Girls. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at _Genesis Wellness. Follow me on Instagram at Ginger in real life. Nolu, where can people find you?
Lou_Ansela.
And that's all. Period. Don't forget to subscribe. Please. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Please subscribe if you haven't. We would appreciate it so much. Now, in today's episode, it's cool, man. It's today. Today we are speaking about God's idea of rest. Seeing that it's the end of the year.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are winding down.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, year-end fatigue, Satan way. And a lot of people are going on vacation.
Yeah.
So we wanted to explore the idea of rest, what that looks like in the Bible, what we think of rest.
Yeah.
And generally God's idea of rest. No, Lutano Matanzala, take it away.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Take it away.
Okay, so I have here the definition of rest, right?
Absolutely.
It says here rest is a multifaceted. Hey, yes, one is Lou.
Multifaceted
concept that encompasses physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, and social aspects, right? And then it is a state of being where one experiences physical relaxation and rejuvenation, calmness, peace, comforts, clarity, focus. Yes, Monaji, isn't this cute, right? Just to start, what do you think rest is? What does it mean to you? What does it look like for you in your life right now?
In my life right now, I prioritize rest. Even when I don't need it, I take it. Even when I feel A-okay, I rest.
I think I need to take a little
I need a camp. But yeah, like mina rest mina ngumuntu o prioritize rest. I don't even want to lie. I always make a joke. It's not actually a joke, it's the truth. It's the truth. It's not even a joke, it's just funny, but it's the truth.
It's funny because it's true.
It's funny because it's true. When I was in varsity, course was chowing me so much. Yeah. Like my life was difficult. Those were not good days. Those were bad days only, you know? And I remember so I studied film and TV, and in my final year, you have to produce a film, wara. And me and my film partner, we were not getting along.
I actually remember that year.
Yeah, and I was telling you all about that. We were not getting along, so much so that we had to, our lecturers had to do make an exception to say, okay, fine, go your separate ways. And that's rule number 1 of film school. You cannot make a film by yourself, right?
Of course.
Yeah, and I believed in my friends so much. I was like, they're gonna take time out of their own films to help me produce this one. And Shem, which they did. But because I was a one-man show, I was a writer, I was an editor, I was a producer, I was a casting director, I was a director.
Everything.
I was everything, right? Things crumbled. And after having bad days for 3 years back to back, now I'm in my 4th year and I'm still having bad days. I remember saying, and I was even crying. I remember just sitting in the editing lab and I was like, after this degree, I need a gap 5 years.
Yeah.
I need to sit down and do nothing for the next 5 years. Yeah. I need to do absolutely zilch, you know? And the way things have played out in my life, I feel like I did get my gap 5 years, because even though I was working, you know, I wasn't working a conventional job.
Yeah.
I could just sleep all day.
All day,
if I
yes.
wanted to, We would have shoots here and there sporadically,
Yes.
And then also COVID immediately after that. ngahlala phansi ngaresta. Kwaba mnandi. And I think I'm just like, I'll always be so grateful to God because the way He set my life up in that period, or rather for the last 5 years, has enabled me to have adequate rest while being able to make a living and being able to enjoy my life. And it's so crazy to think about the fact that while I was in school, like I was in such a panic mentality,
Yes.
like a survivor's mentality.
Yes.
I need something now for the next chapter of my life because I'm scared of what's going to happen. But God said, wait, they don't love you like I love you. Wait. A miracle, So for me, rest is something that I've always incorporated into my life. In fact, I don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice.
I don't have a choice. The way
that.
The way things play out, we have like incredibly busy seasons, where we are busy, shoots every day and editing every day and this and this and this and that. And then we have other months where Shem hlala phansi.
Yeah.
Wait, they don't Yeah, so that's why Shem, I make the joke, even when I don't need the rest, I rest. But maybe I would qualify it as I don't need the rest.
Yeah.
And God would qualify it as you need it.
Yeah.
So sit down. Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me, that retrenchment was definitely God's way of saying, wait.
He said,
ngoba nje bengisebenza, I would study, I would sew, I would go to work.
And then still find time to do ridiculous things like hiring a jumping castle, and hosting a Bible study all at the same time.
All at the same time. Yeah. So I think the 2 months I've had, like, I've just been chilling, man, sleeping back to back, just doing me and relaxing, resting, not thinking about, because also when you're in a constant state of like work, there's always like a, oh my gosh, I need to do this.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I need to do that.
Yeah.
Imagine it's just...
Yeah. And I mean, I will say, having been your friend when you were doing everything all at once, and having been your friend when you were doing nothing all at once, I will say that I sort of got used to the fact that I can just pick up the phone and call you anytime.
Yeah.
And we can just chat.
For an hour or two.
Sometimes we're not even talking. Sometimes we're both frying eggs.
Yeah.
Like at the same time.
I'm doing my bed and you're making breakfast.
Exactly. Yeah. What are you making for breakfast? I'm making this. Okay, me too. I'm going to make this. Wara.
Yeah.
I mean, we call each other in the morning and I sit on the balcony while I'm having my coffee and we chat. I think it's been so nice to get to know you outside of what you do.
Yeah.
It's been so nice. It's been refreshing to be like, dude, how are you doing? And you're just like, Velling no, but like nothing is occupying your brain.
Yeah,
like
I'm just free.
You're just free. You're literally just free. Like, and we can talk through like a bunch of stuff because your brain is not constantly occupied.
And also, it's like for me, another thing I will say is like, who am I outside of all of these things, and it's been very nice to just see that, I like to gym, I like being with my friends, I love reading the Bible, doing things that I actually like and want to do for a change. Anyways, I think a lot of the times, as we're discussing now, we think of rest as one of my points here is that we think of rest as like a physical rest, right? But there's some people who can do all the things that we've mentioned now, like relaxing, chilling, going to the spa. But if you don't have that like peace, right? Like, awuna rest.
Yafana.
Uzohlezi nje you know? And in John 14:27, Jesus says, peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. I do not give as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled or being afraid, right? So if on top of the rest that's we're getting, I think it's also very important to pray for peace,
Absolutely.
Just having peace in our hearts. Peace, nje.
Absolutely, that's true. And actually, funny enough, I think I was reading this. I don't know if I was reading it or I watched a video or something. I think I watched a video, and they were talking about why you can sleep like a really long time and still wake up tired. Still wake up tired. And apparently it's this thing where back in human civilization, right? People didn't have decisions or as many decisions to make, right?
Yeah.
You just decide, today we're eating a cow. That's all you have decided today. Like you don't think about what to wear. You don't think about where to go, what time.
What time.
You don't think about all of that.
Coffee or
latte your focus is hunting, and that's that, right? And so over time, with the amount of decisions that we have to make in the world, our brains are being overloaded by decision
making.
So I just forgot the terminology right now, but there's this thing that every single time you make a decision, your brain has to throw that file away.
Yeah.
Right? But because we're making so many decisions all at one time, like you wake up in the morning, you're like, okay, I need to be at work at 6, let me wake up at 5. So you're up at 5. That's already a decision, you know? What to wear? How hot do I want the shower to be? How cold do I want the shower to be? Am I brushing my teeth before or after the shower? Should I polish my shoes or do I think they look fine? Am I ironing the shirt or not? You've already made 50,000 decisions before you've even left the house, right? So your brain doesn't have enough time to throw all those things away, right? And you're producing more than you can get rid of.
Yes.
And that's why when you sleep is meant to take all of the time that you're sleeping and throw those files away, like to clean your brain.
Yeah.
But we're not sleeping enough, right? And throughout the day, we're taking caffeine. You were drinking Red Bull, you're drinking coffee. So what that does is it blocks the receptors.
Like the sleep receptors.
Yeah, it tells your brain, we're not tired.
Yeah.
But your brain is tired. It's tricking your brain into saying, no, we have enough to go, but you don't have enough.
Yeah.
So when you go to sleep, you have 8 hours of removing all of the work that the caffeine has undone.
And sometimes you don't sleep 8 hours. We are scroll away
now. You are a TikTok fanatic. TikTok is TikToking your brain. You can't even sleep enough to get rid of that. So you wake up with yesterday's deposits still.
Yes.
And you pack on more and more and more and more deposits. So nje indaba yerest, the guy is eating a piece of
Jesus.
You can only get it from Jesus because if you don't make the decisions, then what are you going to do?
Exactly. And I like that you mentioned the whole decision thing. There's even some, like, I don't know if you guys know, billionaires where they just wear the same thing.
Yeah.
Like about Elon Musk.
That's actually something I'm considering.
Honestly, like I'm a t-shirt, everything.
Yeah. Actually, funny that you bring this up. We're laughing now, but actually it's something I have been considering.
Musa actually did this.
Really?
One of our friends.
That's crazy.
Bought a t-shirt. Musa's staple is t-shirts and jeans.
Absolutely. That's where I was going. With that. I'm considering picking one style of clothing.
Yeah.
One. And maybe 2 for different occasions. So if I'm feeling like, okay, this is dinner or whatever, and then I have my everyday wear.
Yes.
I can have different types of clothes, but the same style. Just to reduce my own mental load.
Yeah, so like are you streetwear?
No, not even that.
Not like that. Okay.
Exactly like Musa. Am I doing jeans and a t-shirt every day?
Okay.
It can be different types of jeans, different types of t-shirts, but the same style, the same type of dress code.
Yeah.
And then maybe if I have something fancy, I can say for every fancy thing, I'm wearing a dress. And it's the same type of dress. It can be a different style of the dress, but the same type of dress. If it's a long dress, all of them are long dresses. Different colors. Yeah. Maybe one has frills or whatever, but it's all of them are long dresses. And that's actually something I'm looking to implement next year because I'm finding that I'm at a point in my life, wow, we are derailing this conversation.
Yeah.
But I'm finding that I'm at a point in my life where like my mental load, one, is so much. Like I can't think about clothes anymore.
Yes.
But number two, I'm growing out of the style that I used to 100%. Like imagine, I'm so confused. I don't know what I like. Should I wear this? Am I this?
I don't know.
I mean, we were having that conversation about I'm quite quiet the other day, and we were like, should we do kitten heels? Is that a thing that we do? But like we don't really like heels. So what do we do? And I'm just like, maybe if every single day I'm a jeans, kitten heels, t-shirts type of girl, and I keep it moving,
simple,
and I keep it moving. I can't do the whole let's do different things anymore. I'm done.
And for me, that's why I go as far as picking my outfits the night before, because the mental load in the morning is too much.
And it's wasting your time.
It's wasting my time. Isn't this serious? You know?
Definitely.
So we need Jesus for peace.
110%. 110%.
Yeah. And then my other point, right, is basically in Genesis, right? God creates the heavens and
let there be light,
earth, and let them for 6 days, right? And on the seventh day he rested, right? I also found that when I did research, obviously, I found that the Hebrew word actually for rest is actually like completion, right? Let's see. Oh my gosh, what do I want to say? Sorry, I'm gonna just read from here because clearly, right? It means completion, right? And then sin enters the garden because there's suffering and all of that, right? And three parties suffer: Eve, Adam, and the serpent because of the sin, right? And then there's no state of rest. And if you read like throughout the Bible,
until today. Until 2024 November. Suffering. There has been no peace ever since the damn serpent. There has been zero peace on this earth. I hate that serpent so much. I hate his guts. I hate his guts.
Hate him.
I hate his guts so much.
Hate him, right? And there's no state of rest, right? And I think when God rests on the seventh day, I think he was looking at the bigger picture. Jesus is gonna come, die on the cross, and then we rest.
Yeah, that's
you know.
Yeah.
And it even says that Jesus says, like, come to me who are heavy burdened, I will give you rest. And again, my points, God's idea of rest
is peace,
peace and Jesus.
Yeah. I think another thing that's really important to note, I just want to read the verse. I think I wrote it down. Gosh, it's been such a long day. Anyway, so I wrote down here that the Bible, that verse that you just referenced actually says, God finished his work that he had done and he rested on the seventh day from all his work that he had done. Emphasize, not once but twice. God finished when he was done.
When he was done.
This let me give myself a quick reward during the day. When you are not done with the things you are supposed to be doing is off.
Yes.
It's so off. And preaching to myself right now because I will go to bed with the best intentions. I will write down a to-do list. Tomorrow in the morning, I'm going to go for a 5K run. I'm going to come back, clean my house, do the laundry. Then I have a bit of work to do. I will do that with the best intentions. Will I take a break in between all of that? I will.
Absolutely.
And they're wrongly. And
wrong.
It's so counterproductive because if I just go to the gym or run my 5K, come back, clean my house, do some work, I can even rest for longer.
110%.
But because I keep resting in between, it takes me the whole day to do 3 damn things.
Literally.
3 damn things. So for me, it's just like, God is so right. I mean, when is he not? But the Bible clearly says when he was done. He didn't rest on day 3 and say,
done.
Wow, okay.
This is so good.
Or like, I've done 3 things for 3 whole days. Let me take a break because I'm still gonna go for day 4, 5, 6. So let me pause here. Yeah, let me take a pause here and let me think and bring myself back to myself so that I can have energy for the rest. No, he went the full 9 yards. 6 days, alibile asebenza with no rest. And then when he was done, he was able to enjoy his Sabbath, right?
Yes.
And I think that's such an important thing to note, that there's a time for rest, and there's a time for work, right? Let's work when you have to work, and actually it's better when you work when you have to work, right? It may be taxing, or you're feeling tired, or you're running out of steam a little bit as you go, but work when it's time to work, so that the rest is even better. Have you tried to rest when you have stuff to do? It's not a peaceful rest. In fact, you're not resting, you're just doing nothing. Like, you're not resting because your brain is still where you are actually supposed to be. You know, I even saw the craziest thing ever. I saw a meme, or I think it was a reel, that said, "Nothing slaps. Oh, Netflix slaps so hard when you have to study." And that's the type of disruption I'm talking about.
That's disruptive.
That's so disruptive because not only are you trying to enjoy your Netflix, you can't. You're so well aware of what you actually should be doing. Yeah.
And then you know what's another thing to add on to your points is that once let's say you need to study, right?
Yeah.
And then you watch Netflix. When your test results come back and you failed, you start thinking, oh, maybe I should have.
Yeah.
And I should have studied.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the point I'm trying to make is that uso regrets.
Yeah.
So why?
And you know, munga regrets. Like, there's people like me, right? I can make it through most things by the skin of my teeth.
Yes.
Like, I can and just make it and still be happy, right? I can make it through most things in life without regretting it. Right?
Same.
I can do the bare minimum and still make it.
And still make it. And I think that's the problem.
I think that's definitely a problem, because just because I don't regret it, it doesn't mean it doesn't set up my brain for a level of mediocrity, right? It teaches my brain that just because I can make it,
and I've done this before.
Happy. Yeah, it doesn't push me to my full potential, right? And now as an adult, I'm realizing I'm so capable of so much more, you know? And I've thought of myself as this person who is very average, very like, I can just make it, like I'm happy with like the bare minimum. And impilo doesn't need you to be playing it small, especially when you are in the kingdom of God, right? This is not the time, this is not the place to be playing it small. You need to be playing it really, really big, right? You need to be putting all your chips on God. And if you cannot do that, then it conditions your brain to just be like uhait whenever you are, and that's where you get situations where people don't reach their full potential, or when you're always that guy who's like, oh my gosh, you know, I wish I was driving an M4, me. And then, why? Ngoba when I reach level place, abantu abadrive my M4, they don't wake up one day and say, I've done enough today. I'll sing lale. M4, 1 million rand. I'll figure up by saying, wow, I've done enough today. Let me take a break. I just came back from a 5K. Let me take a break. Let me sleep a little bit, and then I'll make it. No. That's not true.
It's not.
Yeah.
I think just what you're saying is highlighting to me that, like, knowing when to rest is very important.
It's extremely important.
Yeah. You can't rest when...
You can't rest prematurely. Yeah.
You need to rest when you have completed...
When you have completed your task.
Your task.
Hear me clearly. Your task. Let's say it together now. Are we together? Your task. Finish it first,
right? And another point, or another verse I have here is, I have told you these. It's John 16 verse 33. It reads, I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, right? But take heart, I have overcome the world. He completed his work. He completed what he needed to do.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And in saying that, again, repeating, complete what you need to do.
Absolutely.
Right? And also just remember, if it gets too much, go to Jesus for peace.
Absolutely. That's where I was also going with that. So Wutsi, I actually did a very interesting Bible study with one of my neighbors.
Yeah.
And the subject was burnout. How do we heal burnout? Why do we think Christians get burnout?
Yeah.
And basically it was a Bible study on basically relinquishing to God, right?
Yeah.
People tend to have burnout when their mental load is overloading them. Like they are overloaded. So your brain gets to a point where it absolutely cannot think. It's got so much that it cannot move, like it's paralyzed, right? And wow, I lost my train of thought. But what I will say, yes. It's also a game of relinquishing, which is where I was going. Wow, thank you, Jesus. So speaking about myself, oh my gosh, I have such a huge problem with control. And sometimes I don't necessarily realize that that's what I'm doing. But I will see it in how like heavy laden my heart will be, or like my brain will be. Like if I find myself completely consumed by something, like I can't even sleep at night, I'm thinking about it. To me, that's like, baby, let it go. Give it to God. Ngoba wena awuyena umanqoba. I'm not nqobile. He is manqoba. So give it to him because he can deal with it, right? And I have this interesting thing where I always say I'm giving myself one business day to deal with this, or to think about it, and if I can't, over to you, God. You know? Or I'll have something that is that I need to solve, and I'll say, okay, by 10 p.m. today, baby, I want to be done thinking about this. And whether it's solved or not, I'm out, right? Because if we don't do that, then we have a situation where bent out and they are not peace. And the verse that you just read said, if you go to God, he'll give you peace, right? So I think also relinquishing control, or thinking ganing, trying to solve everything, or trying to solve one thing over and over and over, and you just can't get it right, and you're so fixated on it. It's your sign to let it go.
And I think you said something so important about relinquishing control. I think a lot of us, maybe we may know it or not, we want to hold control of our lives. We want to know what's happening in our lives 24/7, 7 days a week. You know, you want to know where you're headed, what you're doing, and, you know, to a point where it even starts to, like, there's this analogy of like you're holding a knife. And it's like it's cutting you, right? Let it go.
Just let go.
Let go, literally. Let it, give it to God. Immediately. And just stop thinking about it.
And I mean, letting go is really, really hard. I don't know. It is.
I'm making it sound easy as well.
It's very easier said than done. But I don't know. I just tell myself, I'm not going to think about this anymore. Like, and whenever it pops into my brain, I'm just like, no, ngeke. Like, thank you so much. I'm so good, baby. I'm so good. You're not gonna catch me. I'm not gonna try to solve this. I've got other things to think about. I've got other things to worry about. So it's literally, it also goes back to that whole thing of capturing your thoughts as they come into your brain. As you think about it, let it go. Let it go.
My last point is I think in all, my wrap up is basically
in conclusion,
right? Rest means peace and Christ.
Absolutely. And ditto. I agree. So I think in a conclusion for me, as we wrap up the year, I think it's very important to just take stock of your year. We shot an episode about personal reflections of the year, what certain experiences have taught us. Isn't this njalo? Sit down, take stock of your year. Is there anything that you are still thinking about? Maybe you were supposed to run a marathon in March. It's November, babes. Let it go. You know, don't still try to be running a marathon. Let it go. There's still next year. And if there isn't next year, you're dead and you don't know it anyway. So
and you're good and you're in heaven, and the great's even better.
because your body in heaven is perfect. You don't need your marathon.
Exactly.
You don't need it. Exactly. Yeah. Well, take stock. Is there anything that I haven't done? Are there certain things that are still bothering me?
Yeah.
How can I let them go?
Yeah.
This is the time to take stock of where your heart, your emotions, your soul is, so that when you enter the peace of God, you enter it in completion.
Yeah.
You're done. You've set out everything that you were supposed to do this year. You've done some things. You've done all the things.
Yeah.
Now we are resting.
We are resting. And it's coming soon.
And it's coming soon, baby. December's around the corner. It's around the corner, okay? And with that said, thank you so much for tuning in. We love you guys so much.
Love you
Don't
so,
forget to
so
subscribe.
much.
Subscribe to our channel. Please send
And again, thank
cute.
you so much if you've subscribed, if you watch us, if you support us. Some of you guys send me messages, send Ginger messages, and those messages are so encouraging. And we thank you so much, guys, for that.
Yes. Yeah, we love you so much. Nolu, where can people find you?
Lu_Nsala.
And that's on period. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at _Genesis Wholeness Wellness. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Ginger in Real Life. And on that note, we love you so much. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.